हेलो गाइस। तो आज आपका फिर से स्वागत है मेरे एक और नए वीडियो पे। आज आप बहुत सारा ज्ञान लेने के लिए तैयार हो जाइए, क्योंकि आज हम बात करेंगे गूगल समर ऑफ कोड के बारे में। अब जिसको पता नहीं है ये क्या होता है, तो टेंशन लेने की बिल्कुल भी आवश्यकता नहीं है, क्योंकि हम उसी के बारे में आज आपको बताने वाले हैं। तो आज आपको ये बताने के लिए हमने बुलाया एक बहुत स्पेशल गेस्ट को, आर्यन। हे गाइस, लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस यू टू आर्यन। आर्यन मेरा क्लासमेट था, मतलब है अभी भी। इसने अभी अभी जी शॉक क्लियर किया है। इसका अभी अभी जी शॉक का सारा कुछ हो गया है, मतलब इसका जो 3 महीने का इसका पीरियड था जी शॉक का, वो इसने कंप्लीट कर लिया है। तो आज हमारे साथ आर्यन है। आर्यन हमको पूरा सब कुछ बताने वाला है कि जी शॉक कैसे के लिए अप्लाई कैसे करते हैं, प्रोसीजर क्या होता है, अपने प्रोजेक्ट कैसे चूज कर सकते हैं, किस किस चीज में हम जी शॉक के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, और उसका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा, और आप लोग को बहुत सारा एडवाइस भी देगा। सो आर्यन, कैन यू गिव अस अ स्मॉल इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ योर्स?
Yeah, sure. So I am Aryan, and I'm currently a third year engineering undergraduate at the International Institute of Information Technology, Pune. I was selected to Google Summer of Code this year. That is in my second year. So yeah, that is it.
तो जैसे कि आप लोग ने अभी अभी सुना कि आर्यन ने जीशॉक किया है। ओके आर्यन, सो व्हाट इज गूगल समर ऑफ कोड? ये होता क्या है, मतलब क्या, पूरा बताओ शुरू से।
Yeah. So GSOC is a short form for Google Summer of Code, and Google Summer of Code is a global program that matches students with open source free software and technology related organizations to write code and become a part of these communities or organizations. So these organizations come with mentors, and these mentors act as guides throughout the entire Google Summer of Code process. And from learning about the community to contributing code, they help in all these things. So basically, Google Summer of Code's idea is to get students involved with and familiar with open source communities and help them put their summer break into good use. So the students who get accepted to GSOC, they get a sense of achievement, obviously, and some improved development skills, and it helps build network.
Okay, so Aryan, now we got to know that what is GShock, Google Summer of Code. So can you tell us ki how to apply for this?
Yeah. So every year in the month, this every year somewhere around February and March, there is opening for students where students can apply to different organizations of their choice. Every organization has a project, and to that specific project, any student can apply to this. So in order to apply, we have to submit a proposal, and depending upon the type of the proposal we are writing, or how good our proposal is, our proposal gets selected, and officially we are into Google Summer of Code. But we have to keep in mind that whenever I speak about proposals, we have to keep in mind that proposal should be of very good quality. It should be best so that uh, our proposal gets selected, because for one project many students apply to many students apply. So we have to keep in mind the organization mentors have multiple proposals based on the same project. So we have to focus on writing quality proposal in order to get selected. And maximum this year, the maximum amount of proposals a student could can write is 3. But next year, the Google Summer of Code has a few updates. So probably I don't know about how many proposals a student can write, but it is mostly max to max 3. This time it was 3. So yeah. So by we can apply through proposals and from the Google Summer of Code portal.
Okay, and your proposal is supposed to be very of very good quality.
Yeah, because if suppose someone is applying to a specific project, and along with me there are n number of students who are applying to the same project. So depending upon what you write in the proposal, or how your approach is, or how are you distributing your time, and what task will you be achieving in the following weeks in the future during your coding period. So you have to keep these few things in the mind. and write our proposal. Also, sometimes students come with their own ideas as well regarding a project. So yeah, that is it. So as I said, that proposal should be better than others, and that is why uh, that is how we get selected.
Okay, so you applied for G-Shock and you got selected in Google Summer of Code. So how was your preparation then?
Yeah. So preparation, as in we have to be familiar with. Firstly, we have to be familiar with open source,
Okay.
because everyone is a beginner in the way, in the obviously, and this comes by practice. Also, you have to be familiar with how an open source. Whenever you apply, you have to be familiar with the organization's some part of code base associated with that project, that corresponding project. So if an organization's project asks you to implement a specific feature or add a few more pipelines to the existing database, uh, existing code base, sorry, or any other work, so you need to know about what exactly the project is. So what I mean, what that module is all about. So it's not that कि मैंने प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट पढ़ लिया एक प्रोजेक्ट का और मैं सीधा सीधा गया प्रपोजल लिखने, ऐसे नहीं होता. बिकॉज एवरी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट में ऐसे कीवर्ड्स होते हैं जो हमको नहीं पता रहते हैं. सो बेसिकली this comes with when you read the code base of that organization, of that project. And when you read the code base, you get to know about the different files present in it, which file is associated with what functions. And basically you तुम्हें पूरे code base का एक rough mapping पता चल जाती है कि ये function जो है, this function performs this task, or the project wants us to implement this feature to the existing project. So I think you get familiar with, because understanding code base is relatively difficult, and in a very short span of time, because वो time पे बहुत spamming there's a lot of spamming from students. And you know, there's a very short time for applying to Google Summer of Code. It's actually I don't recall it, but it is very short. So we need to have a good hold on how do we exactly read, how efficiently we read the code of that project or that organization's associated uh, project. So I think once you start open source contributions or get familiar with different organizations, then I think our maturity or our efficiency in understanding code increases, and that is how we can do it. So there's no such practice as in uh, any programming or competitive programming kind of thing, but we have to be familiar with the code base.
Okay, so can you tell us the timeline? Like, what is the further procedure after getting selected in G-Shock?
So, as I said, initially, the organizations apply to Google Summer of Code. Then the organizations are officially selected to GSOC. Then there is an opening for the students, where students or applicants apply through proposals, and after around 1 month, uh, the results are announced regarding who is selected and who is not. So once you are selected to Google Summer of Code, you are officially into it. And we have this timeline where we have firstly community bonding period, then there is coding period, and then we have the results, evaluations and results. So during coding period, community bonding period, uh, it is basically a period, a phase where the student gets to know about the mentors and the project, also the organization in a better way. And in during the community bonding period, generally mentors and students discuss upon plans related to project, on how do we schedule proper meetings, or you know, what should be more added to the your existing plan, or anything related to project. Also, mostly in the community bonding period, it is ideally to get your development environment set up and get engaged with your community. And then when we talk about coding period, so we have coding period. This time it was two phases. Two evaluations were present for coding period. Till 2020, there were 3 evaluations, but this time the total project duration was relatively smaller. So as compared to the previous year's GSOC. So again, in coding period, we get our hands dirty with code, and we start implementing the things which we wrote in our proposal. So, but before that, one point I would like to mention is that we have to keep in mind that we should be consistent with our work and get constant feedback from mentors, because few things which if we forget or if we don't care, then there's a possibility that there might be less amount of time in the end remaining to complete the project, or you know in order to avoid such things, we have to discuss it with mentors properly. So back to coding period. During the coding period, we implement all the things which were proposed in the proposal. And again, during coding period, there are mentors to help, but we have to keep in mind that we should not constantly keep asking mentors regarding this, small things. Also, we should try things by our own, and we have to make sure that we have in the proposal or during implementation of the code, we have to keep some buffer time as well. So if there is any extra time, or unplanned things going on, then there should remain some extra buffer time. So again, during the coding period, you write code, you submit your code, that is, you push your code to GitHub, GitLab, and then after that, there is evaluations. So this time there were 2 evaluations where your mentors check your submitted code. They check it, they test it, and then they evaluate you. If you pass both your evaluations, you complete Google Summer of Code. That is, you pass your project. Else you fail. But you have to keep in mind all these things during. Yeah.
Okay, so after getting to know all about this, I guess this is a tough phase. So what is the benefit of this? What is the benefit of GShock that so many students apply here?
Yeah, so firstly is that you learn to develop a project professionally. You engage with mentors from all around the world. This helps in networking. Also, you start writing good code. And then, when we talk about career, from career perspective, our resume becomes attractive, obviously. Plus, there's good amount of stipend because they pay in dollars, and this time it was $1,500. Till previous year, it was $3,000. As I said, this was a very this project. I mean, this summer of code was smaller relatively as compared to the previous one, so accordingly they changed the stipend. That also we get to learn new technologies. I had to learn about Docker and Ansible as well, and initially I was not much familiar with Docker and Ansible because because I have no much experience in DevOps, but because my project was associated with some part was associated with Docker, most of the part, but so I had to learn, and I learned by doing. So as I said, it is like we learn it by doing, and we get to know about new technologies. We learn them and then we implement them as well, which gets merged in the end to the code base. So yeah, you improve networking, and that's it. Okay. There's a lot of good things.
Okay. So I just want to ask that this is not a valid question, I think, but is there any disadvantage to be here?
Disadvantage, not as such, but I personally, I think, in my opinion, that sometimes the project, project requirements or the technology stack involved in the project sometimes becomes too heavy. For me, it happened for not exactly like that, but it's like there are few technologies which are difficult to grasp, and it takes relatively more time than expected. So there is chances that you can get your work a bit shifted and you might delay with your deadlines. So you have to keep in mind that you have to be ready mentally for such unplanned changes, else there's no disadvantage as such. But yeah, there are hurdles obviously, and
Mhm.
we have to overcome these hurdles. Like one which I said was learning about new technologies like DevOps, which I had. So I had to go through a lot of resources, videos, and yeah, but in the end it indeed develops confidence.
Okay, so getting to know this much about G-Shock, I have one more question. Who can apply to G-Shock? Like, what is the eligibility criteria?
So yeah, till as I said, Google Summer of Code 2021 is coming with new updates. I will tell you about what was the eligibility for till 2021. So
Okay.
mostly students from different uh, students from different universities from all around the world apply to Google Summer of Code, and this Summer of Code was limited to only students. But in 2022, uh, they GSOC welcomes all the program for all the uh, people, like those who are 18 years or older, and uh, recent graduates as well. So then we have different size of projects. So this year it was medium-sized projects, uh, difficulty ranging from easy to medium and then hard. But till from next year onwards, there will be uh, support for both medium and large size projects as well. So medium sized is 175 hours and large size projects is 350 hours from 2022. And and then lastly, there is flexible timing for project. So till 2021, there was a fixed timing slot for GSOC, but from 2022 onwards, the students and the mentors can decide on the timings of the project. So it can vary from 12 weeks to 22 weeks. So yeah, so that is about the new updates regarding GSOC and the eligibility criteria.
Okay. Okay. So at last, can you wanna give us any advice or for those who are aspiring to be a part of Google Summer of Code?
Yeah. So any advice would be that start contributing to not to Google Summer of Code, start contributing to various open source organizations, various projects. This will help in, as I said in the previous answer, that this helps in understanding different code base of the projects of organizations or different organizations, and we get familiar to open source in general, whether it is GitHub or GitLab, you know.
Mhm.
So it helps because this works as a practice and as well as experience in contributions. So next time when you apply to Google Summer of Code, uh, you'll have a good bags of you'll have a bag filled with experiences related to open source
Mhm.
contributions. So I think that is the only advice, because contributing to the projects based on your tech stack would uh, benefit you more. Also, you can get to know about different terms involved, or maybe you know there's a lot of benefits of actually. So just one advice would be to keep contributing, and things will start getting clear.
Okay. So, okay, Aryan, thanks for giving us your time. We wish you a great future ahead. Do you want to say anything?
No, nothing. Thanks for having me. And yeah, that's it. All about GSOC. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks, Aryan. Okay, so that's all about G-Shock, guys. Thanks for watching. और जाते जाते सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना. सब्सक्राइब करो, लोगों के साथ शेयर करो और वापस आओ अगले वीडियो के लिए. थैंक यू. और आर्यन का भी एक चैनल है, तो मैं उसका लिंक दे दूंगा. आप लोग वहां जाओ और उसको भी सब्सक्राइब करो. थैंक यू.